Howdy everybody, it's Tuesday. I'm still in Cambridge, but I'm loading tomorrow and we'll be going to South Carolina again. Today's day 3 of my high protein powered diet, but this is kind of like a real serious thing. All I have is 3 of those, 3 shakes and 1 real meal, and I already did 2 sessions with my kettlebell. That thing is so heavy. I should have bought something lighter, but it's okay. At least I don't have to change it. I think maybe later I'll get 2 lighter ones, because of course 2 are better than 1 because you can do more exercises with it. But I'm feeling great. I feel I'm losing some weight already because this is really drastic, right? Like pretty much all I eat is protein, but it's all based on that book. It's all backed by research. So I did my training. I went for 2 days to the hotel, did the training, took the shower, went to Starbucks, called my friend Freight Broker in Alberta. We chit-chatted for a bit, and then now I got a call from this it's kind of like a cargo, it's a store that sells parts for trucks and also all these straps and binders and stuff like that. And a couple of weeks ago I contacted them and I asked if it's possible to get a replacement strap. Like I have 1 strap, 3 inch wide with the winch, right? Like with a hand winch or racket, whatever it's called. But one of those hand ones, right? Because I don't have winches on my trailer. And I got a cut on the strap, and I don't want to throw out the entire strap, but I just want to get a replacement. And I found that there's a bolt in there, so you can actually undo that bolt and take that defective piece of strap, like 2 feet long, take it out. But I had a problem finding a replacement, and finally these guys, they had to do a special order. So now I'm going to the store just a few minutes away to pick up these straps, and then I'm getting loaded. And I already talked to, like, some guys were wondering what's happening with my Honda. I contacted Kaufman, the maker of my trailer, and they agreed to replace the Honda engine if I bring the trailer to them. So my goal these past couple of weeks was to find a load, and so I asked my dispatch to kind of like help me out, and so they got me this one, South Carolina. So I'm delivering Friday in South Carolina, and then I'm going to the Kaufman's plant just like 3 hours away. But I discovered that because of the July 4th in the States, the plant will be closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so my dispatch said it's okay for me to be there Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning after the holiday, I think that's July 5th, I'll be at the Kaufman's plant, and they're gonna swap the Honda, take the old one, throw it out, put the new one in. So I'll have a brand new Honda. And one thing also, since I'll be at the plant, last time I got my the height adjustment valve, that valve on the trailer, I got it replaced, and actually Kaufman supplied the part because I couldn't find the same valve here in Canada. And I noticed that my trailer in the back became taller. When I look at the space between the tires and the frame, I probably gained 1 inch, and I had no idea how to reset it back to the factory. And I asked the Mac store who did the job, I said, did you guys change anything? And they swear they didn't. But I trust my eyes. I see that it's higher, and even 1 inch can be critical when you haul tall machinery like excavators, And so once that's thing number 2 I want to check is I will ask Kaufman to reset the height, because they know what position that valve should be in, right? Because there's no markings on it, like factory, whatever, high, low, there's nothing. It's just kind of like a lever that you have to adjust near the rear wheels of the trailer. So I don't trust myself with that. So number one, they'll be changing the engine. Number two, I'll ask him to adjust the height back to the factory settings. And number three, I'll just make sure my hydraulic is all cool, you know, and filled up, because I don't check that one often, you know, like the hydraulic oil that pushes the pressure on the trailer. Not the oil inside the Honda, but the one there's a container, like a special hydraulics oil. And that's it. Oh, and yesterday, yeah, Monday, I took my truck to the Mac dealer here in town, and I asked them to look at the air conditioning, because I said somehow I cannot activate the air conditioning in the back, in the sleeper. Like there's a separate control there, and I know it only works when the front is on, like when your engine is running and the AC is running in the front. Then you're supposed to go in the back, and then I checked back on them like a couple of hours after I gave him the truck, and the guy said, well, I don't want to, you know, insult your intelligence, but there's a button on the dash. I said, what? I forgot about that one, because I don't use it that often, but yeah, there's a button on the dash that says sleeper, and there's a little picture of fan. So if you don't flip that button, nothing works in the back. Basically, it supplies power. And so he flipped that one and everything works, but he says there's still a problem with your air conditioning. It runs cold, but it's not as cold as it's supposed to be. And actually I was noticing that, but they fixed the leak right a few weeks ago. So he says, no, there's no leaks, but he said what I suspect happened is that your truck is a new truck, like 2015, and it has a bigger AC unit on it. Like the volume of the gas inside is bigger than on previous trucks. And he says what I think happened last time, I was like half a pound short of gas. He says they probably didn't fill it properly, so he refilled it, and so now everything works. And they checked my power steering. I had a complaint about some noise coming out of there. They said I put too much power steering fluid, so they removed that one. So now I know exactly how much to put in. Well, and last thing, that's why I like taking my truck to the dealer, is that when there's a recall, you know, like something that they can fix and you don't have to pay for it, they check on the computer, put in my serial number, and then they know if there's a recall. And I go to talk to the guy about air conditioning when the truck was in the shop, and I see my air suspension on the truck was like the light was red. Like I know that the suspension is down, and I thought maybe the guy did a mistake, like he's working on the air conditioning, why does he need the air suspension down? And then I look in the back towards the rear wheels, I see some legs protruding from between the wheels. I go there and I'm like, hey, how is it going? And it's a girl. You know, you don't see female mechanics too often. It's a girl, and she's working on something under my truck. I said, hey, I didn't have any complaints about you know, anything on the truck besides the power steering and air conditioning. And she said, well, I don't know, it's just we're installing a bracket to prevent the suspension to go higher than, and she gives me some number. I said, is this like a recall? And she says, I don't know, I was told to do this by my boss. Okay, so I went inside the shop and I talked to them, and they were laughing because they said this is the first day this mechanic was on the job, and this was her first job. And so she was doing something, and they said, yeah, it's a recall. So they installed some kind of a bracket, I guess to reduce the free play on the suspension or something. I don't know, but it's something coming from Mac. So, but I'm glad that I brought my truck and they were able to do that, because you go to any other place, like they never check it, you know. So last time I did an oil change at the TA, it was premium oil change, like premium service, and they're supposed to check levels and everything. And then next day, that's when I discovered that my power steering level was low, you know. So it's cheap, you're saving money, but they don't do everything they're supposed to do. Okay, so now it's what, around 12 o'clock, 12:30. I'm getting hungry. All I had was a power shake, so I'm going to get those straps. And I think they're pretty expensive, like 25 bucks each. And then I'm gonna get a lunch, and I don't know yet what I'm doing after that. attraction, one of my favorite stores, because they have lots of cool stuff for big trucks. Alright, these were the straps I was looking at, right? And I just needed this part, you know, with the ratchet, but you know, the bigger one. Because you know, my trailer, I don't have these. That's why I need to have the hand ratchet. And those are pretty expensive. Take care. So mission accomplished. Got the straps. Should have these basically ends. Right, so I'm gonna undo the bolt on the current one and put this in and throw out the old one, and I got one as a spare because they said the minimum order, and you cannot find these anywhere, so you have to special order them. Minimum order was 2, and they said, you still want to do it? I said, yeah, sure, I want to do it. I don't want to get a ticket. So that's done. Okay, now I feel really hungry. Okay, this is a good area actually for to have some cool lunch. And I've been a good boy these past 3 days, right? So no alcohol, no caffeine, 1 real food a day, which I think doesn't count. Shakes only, and I've been tugging my 32 kilo kettlebell, 30 pounds. So I think I deserve a good lunch, and my idea of a good lunch is Red Lobster. And no, we're not going there. But this location, this Red Lobster, is right next to the World Gym, and I thought of joining them, you know, because then you can use that membership somewhere in the States, or you know, when I'm traveling. But you know, in a big truck, you know, I cannot just drive like 100 kilometers and then where do you park? So it's not exactly a good option. So I'll be just carrying my kettlebell with me. So the weight now, the empty weight of my truck will increase by 70 pounds. Behind me is a typical Red Lobster facade in the building. Well, that was a pretty expensive lunch, but I don't come here too often, maybe once in 2 or 3 months. And one thing I didn't like is that they didn't have any wild caught fish. Usually they do. I said, what happened? It all swam away. And the server said, well, I don't know. We never know in advance. She said, we have to deal with what's swimming our way. So I had some trout and with some asparagus, and that's it. And after a tip, it was 30 bucks Canadian. No beer, no wine, no nothing. Just the fish and asparagus. At least my guy is still here. Alright, let's go finish the movie and get ready for tomorrow. It's gonna be again an intensive intensive loading, as it's 11-foot tall load that I have to tarp, you know. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do my kettlebell training tomorrow, but I just do like 15-20 minutes, so I cannot do any, you know, more, because that bell is so heavy. So maybe I'll do it. And I'm staying at a hotel till tomorrow. I think my truck is ready. I don't think I have to do anything. I have gas. In case some people don't know, that Honda engine on the trailer, it requires gas, so I have to purchase gas, you know, like non diesel gas. But it lasts a long time, because I only run that Honda maybe like a couple minutes each time when I disconnect and reconnect. So everything is good. I finished painting the rear. I got an extra can of spray, that dark steel paint, and I finished painting the rear, and my chains are okay, my binders are there, I have tarps. I don't know what else I can do to actually get ready, except just to think about it, you know. It helps. I find that sometimes when you're doing something totally non-related to trucking, and you've been off for a few days, then sometimes it's difficult to get in the mood, you know, and start thinking as a trucker, and it feels like I didn't work for like 6 months, you know. So getting loaded tomorrow and going down to South Carolina, and then fixing my Honda and spending the weekend in the States. Those are my plans for the next few days. Thanks for watching. I'm SERGEI DRATCHEV in Kitchener, Ontario this time. Ciao.